Good morning, it's Claire Jones here from Your One Life Healthy Weight Solutions, and I'm here to speak to you about Monday Morning Matters episode 12, I think it is. It's Monday 27th of June, and today I'm going to be talking about menopause and weight loss, which I know is a topic that is a big challenge for many people, myself included. But before I get into that, I just wanted to say, obviously, if you are watching live, then do please let me know. Say hi in the comments. Perhaps put some likes or loves or whatever. It just helps other people to know that I've gone live and that they may want to tune in too. I know sometimes I get a few people, sometimes it doesn't necessarily notify people as well as it should, so I'm just going to hang on in case there's anyone going to be checking in before I get stuck in, because I know there were a few people that wanted to watch this, so I'm not going to start too soon. But for those of you who are watching on catch up, obviously do put #replay in the comments, that would be great, and then I will know that you've seen it, and obviously we can have a chat about things. So also just to say a very warm welcome to the new members of the group this week, or over the last couple of weeks. So as I said earlier, I'm Claire Jones of Your One Life Healthy Weight Solutions, and if you haven't yet had a chance to have a look around the group, what I would encourage you to do is to go to the group's homepage and look at the tabs across the top, and you will see where it says guides, and then you can work your way through those guides, and it just tells you a little bit about the group, about Your One Life, and what I do. And then guide 2 is all about the monthly challenges that we run here in this group, because this group is really just for sort of general support and camaraderie and accountability, and so we don't do anything sort of really specific in this group. Obviously, if you wanted that, then there's other things that I can help you with. But here we do run monthly challenges, where the idea is just to try and get a little bit more consistent with some of the behaviours that we know we need to do in order to get the results that we want. So we're just coming to the end of the June challenge at the moment. I know there's a few people who are still in there and really smashing it, which is fantastic. So at the end of the week, they'll be submitting their sheets that show that they've completed the challenge, and they will go into the prize draw. And the prize will be something that is individual to them. So I don't say what it's going to be, because even I don't know what it's going to be. Hi, Sarah. Even I don't know what it's going to be until we know who the winner is, because I like to make sure that the prize is something that's relevant and helpful to that person, and may be relevant to the particular activity that they've been focused on. So we'll also be starting the July challenge on Friday, which is obviously the 1st of July. So if you are interested in taking part, it's completely free. Just head to guide 2 and have a look at the different options that you've got to choose from. And they are just a guide. You can really do anything. My only thing I would say is just make sure that it's healthy for you, make sure that it's safe for you, and that it's not a big step too far from where you're currently at, because obviously that's where we often set ourselves up to fail, is by trying to implement something that we're not ready for, and it's too big a jump from where we are. So it's important to really just take a more gentle approach with yourself, rather than expect too much, and then we'll be here in the group to help keep you going with it, and get through to the end and go into the prize draw. So without further ado, I'm going to start talking about weight loss and menopause, and why I've chosen to talk about that this week. And I can see there's 2 people watching now, which is great. So I know Sarah's one of them. I don't know who the other one is, but if you want to say hello, please feel free. And what that does, as I say, is just helps other people to get notified that I'm here, that I'm live, that if there's anyone else who's wanting to watch and they haven't been notified, it will just help them to see. But obviously you can watch on catch up. So menopause and weight loss, how did this come about? So obviously it's a topic that is very relevant to obviously a significant proportion of the general population. Hi Jenny. And yeah, and a lot of the people that I work with are of an age group, well, women of an age group who where menopause is a big issue. Some people find that you know, it's where they might have had issues with their weight all their life, the menopause makes it harder. Other people may find that going into the menopause or perimenopause is a time where they start to notice weight gain that they hadn't had previously. And obviously it's a very individual thing as to, you know, how it affects us. And some people seem to be able to breeze through the menopause with no problems at all. Other people have terrible problems. And obviously, you know, when it comes to menopause, it's not just about weight. There's a whole other host of issues. And obviously I'm here focusing on how it affects our weight and what we can do about our weight. So, you know, I'm not an HRT specialist or anything like that, and I'll put that out there right from the beginning. But what I will say about that is that obviously if we are really struggling with, you know, some of the really unpleasant symptoms, including the brain fog and just not being able to feel like we're functioning effectively, of course that's going to affect how we do everything else in our life. So, you know, I would say go and speak with your GP or a women's health specialist to see how you might be able to get access to things that will help you, which could include HRT. Obviously, as I say, I'm not an expert in that. So, you know, do make sure that you get the right help if that is an issue for you. But in terms of the weight issues themselves, the reason I'm talking about this this week is that I was approached last week by a journalist at the Express Online in the UK who wanted me to give her some comments about menopause and weight loss. So me being me, I kind of thought, well, a few comments, what does that mean? So I duly started writing away, and before I knew it, I'd written absolute tons of stuff. And so I've sent it off to her, and she's used, obviously, some of it. She's used, particularly in relation to, she's focused on alcohol as being one of the key issues, which is something that I wrote about. But I also wrote quite a lot of other stuff. So I thought rather than just reiterate what was in the article, it might be useful to just say a few other things as well about what I'd submitted to her. So obviously you can read the article on the Express Online. I have shared the link in the group. But there are a number of issues that happen as we get older, and obviously menopause being one of them. And the way that I see it, obviously, you know, menopause doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in conjunction with a lot of other things that are going on in our lives. So it's really, really difficult to be able to put it down to, is it the menopause or is it other things? So the way that I kind of describe it, it's like a perfect storm of lots of things coming together around the same time. So as we get older, our bodies change. There's no getting away from that. One of the ways that they change is that unless we're doing a lot of weight training or a lot of other exercise where we are regularly and consistently telling the body that we need to keep its muscle, we will lose it over a gradual period of time. And then we get to, you know, a certain point, and suddenly we've reached a kind of like a tipping point where the weight starts to creep on. And it may be that we haven't really necessarily started eating anymore. We may have, but not noticed, because one of the things that I talk about a lot is that we're not hardwired to really pay attention to what we're eating. And, you know, it's really hard to remember what we ate yesterday, never mind what we ate a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. So there could be a very, very gradual increase in what we're eating. There could also be a gradual decrease in what our bodies need. So if there's a gradual increase in what we're eating and there's a gradual decrease in what our bodies need, you can see how the gap can get bigger in terms of the calorie surplus that we may be creating without realising it. And one of the things that I remind my audience of quite regularly is that it really doesn't take very much more than what our bodies need on a daily basis to put on a stone in a year. And it's simply around about 120 calories a day, more than our bodies need. So if we're slightly eating more and our body's needing less, you can see how quickly those pounds can start to creep on if we're not really paying attention to what's going on. So that's a massive influencing factor. So in terms of what you can do about that, there's two things. One is obviously remind your body that it needs muscle, that it needs the muscle that it's already got, and even better if you can increase it, because that will safeguard our metabolism as we get older. It will also do a whole lot of wonderful things in terms of keeping us healthy, and in terms of keeping our musculoskeletal system working properly, and safeguard against the worst effects of things like arthritis. So, you know, if you are watching this and thinking, well, this is nothing to do with me, I'm nowhere near the menopause yet, then now's the time to start working on building some resistance training into your routine, if you can. Now, I appreciate not everybody is able to do that, but what I would say is perhaps, you know, seek some support from a specialist, a personal trainer or physiotherapist who can give you some advice about how you can increase the resistance into your daily routine, so that you are reminding your body that it needs the muscle, because it is really a case of if you don't use it, you will lose it. And if you lose it, it then becomes really difficult to keep the weight off. So if you're not anywhere near the menopause yet, then that's what I would suggest. If you are going through perimenopause or menopause, then really think about how you can build in some resistance training to your routine. So both in terms of maintaining the muscle mass you currently have, but also in terms of increasing it. And as I say, it has so many benefits for our general health and actually our mental health. And you know, if we're really feeling, you know, the effects of the hormonal mood swings and the brain fog and things like that, then doing exercise again can really help with that. So I would say exercise, as long as you're able to do it, is a really important thing. That doesn't mean to say you've got to go and do hours on the treadmill and, you know, hours of resistance training in the gym, or, you know, weight training in the gym. There's lots and lots of things that you can do. A really good thing that is great if you're short on time and energy, because obviously lots of exercise requires lots of energy and a lot of us don't have lots of energy. So yes, such as quick exercise when you have a few minutes to spare. Yeah, boil the kettle and do some squats would be a good thing, where you can do what's called habit stacking. So when you are doing something that you're already doing, can you add something else to that? So if you are cooking the dinner, this is something that I quite often do. If I'm cooking the dinner, luckily I do have quite a large kitchen, but even if I didn't, I wouldn't sure I'd find a way, is to just build in a little bit of a little HIIT or high intensity interval training workout. You could do 10 minutes, and that could include, you could do like a minute on, a minute off. So 1 minute of squats, for example, followed by 1 minute of rest. You could then do 1 minute of press ups, or, you know, and these could be like on your hands and knees. They don't have to be the full press ups, and then rest for a minute. 1 minute of lunges, and I like to try and alternate upper body and lower body, because it gives the upper body and lower body a chance to rest in between. I will put some more information in the comments, because I don't want to use up all the time on talking about this. But yeah, there's lots of quick and easy things that you can do whilst you're doing something else if you're short on time. And squats are a great exercise if done properly. Obviously that's really important because they are a whole body movement. And press ups again are a really good one. Planks, as long as you don't have high blood pressure, planks are really good. But you can do moving planks. You don't have to hold a plank in one position all the time, which is another really good thing to do. So exercise, I would say, is the number one thing for helping with perimenopause, menopause, and avoiding weight gain. And then in terms of weight loss, obviously, it's really important that we include exercise, but don't go overboard with the exercise, because if we go overboard with the exercise, we then cause problems for ourselves, because we may not be fueling our body appropriately to support that exercise if we're cutting our calories back a lot. Morning, Kelly. So it's really important to just think about how much exercise, but some, short 10 to 20 minute exercise bursts, sort of on 5 days a week, would do you really well. As a starting point, and then building up from there. In terms of eating, another big issue that I come across with weight loss, with menopause and people wanting to lose weight, is the quality of what we eat is vital. So if we are eating lots of foods that are perhaps low in nutrition, highly calorie dense, then we're going to be really causing ourselves some problems. It's going to be really hard to lose weight doing that. But also, thinking about if we're eating things that aren't very nutritious, they're not going to be making us feel very good, which is going to further impact on things like hormonal mood swings and brain fog. So whilst, as I said earlier, HRT is appropriate for some people, and if it's something you think you need, then do go and speak with your GP or other women's health professional about that. But do consider, what are you eating, and is that actually making things worse? And what can you do to improve on the quality of the food that you're eating? And as the article did mention, alcohol is very significant, and there are well, we all, not all of us, but obviously a lot of us do like to engage in alcohol, and obviously in moderation it's not a problem. But the problem is that it does also impact on our waistlines, and for a variety of reasons, which I do explain in the article. So I would go and have a read of that. I'll put it in the comments here as well, to save you having to look for it. But yeah, there's a number of things with alcohol that, it is a really good thing to look at if you think maybe that has been creeping up. And again, it's not going to make you feel good. Alcohol is a depressant. It can really affect our mood the next day, so cause depression and anxiety. So if that's something you're already struggling with, whilst it might make you feel better in the moment, it's not going to be helping in the longer run. So alcohol, food and exercise, I would say, are the three things to look at in terms of prevention, management, and both in terms of weight loss, prevention of weight gain, and just sort of management of symptoms, in addition to anything that your GP might want to support you with. So I'm going to have to leave it there because I've gone way over time, and I need to be over in my club talking with them about their next task for the June monthly theme. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope that's helpful. This is a bit of a whistle-stop tour. Obviously, if you want to know more about this and you want to work with me, then obviously there are different ways you can do that by having a look on my website, www.youronelife.co.uk. So I hope that's helpful, and do let me know of any questions in the comments. And obviously this is a big topic, so I'm sure I'm going to be talking about it again. And so watch this space, and good to see you, everybody. Take care. Bye.